Hello everybody, welcome to the 5 Minutes PM podcast. Today I was planning to talk about my speech at the Soccer X, the event regarding football and the World Cup, but the events that happened in Rio this week made me change the topic, and I will talk about the violence problem and the community of Alemão and the works of the Brazilian troops to recover and deal with the drug dealers in the area using again, the project management lens. The Alemão community, it's a huge community and one of the most violent communities and completely controlled by the drug dealers and other criminals. And this was, everybody was thinking about the UPP, where the government is putting police troops inside these communities. And everybody was thinking about how we can do this in this community. This is a huge community, 400,000 people, and everybody, all the newspapers worldwide, they published that. And one thing that amazed me is that if we return back 1 week, we never thought that the Brazilian troops could do that. And this was exactly in the perfect crisis management. And if we return 5 days ago, we start seeing people burning cars, burning buses, and doing other criminal acts to make the Rio de Janeiro population afraid, and also to challenge the official troops and the government of Rio. And the response to that was, for me, almost a perfect answer. And everybody was thinking, the project to take over Alemão complex would take 6 months of planning, 10 months of planning. And this happened in something like 72 hours, from planning to execution. And they built a crisis management office, and the troops from the Air Force, the Marines, and also the Army, in conjunction with the Federal Police, and also the Tactical and Operations Group of Rio de Janeiro Police. So we had something like 5 or 6 different police forces working together, using arm-bladed cars, using war equipments to take over this community. And for sure, none of the drug dealers was expecting such a powerful answer, such a strong answer to this. And I was surprised looking through the television. I didn't participate in this kind of operation, but I was watching as a citizen, as a Brazilian citizen, and I was really, in one side, extremely perplexed with the power of the drug dealers and how they can challenge the order. But in the other hand, I was very happy of how, if the government wants, we can make things happen with proper planning. Because usually, when do not have too much time, we usually drive ourselves to more mistakes. And this operation was pretty perfect, because the group took over in 2 hours the Alemão complex. All newspapers and everybody was expecting a bloody, extremely bloody war. And this didn't happen. For sure, there is a long way. The Secretary of Public Security of Rio was saying, we won one battle, but we didn't win the war. Translating this to our PM perspective is that in our portfolio of projects, we finished one project, quite successful. But there are many other projects to drive our strategic change. So look, this was one project. Now we need to start several others with the same coordination, because I'm really sure that he will not be the same, because the way that they handle this crisis management project to make the decision to take over Alemão complex, to coordinate a group of more than 2,000 soldiers from different groups to work together. So the Marines tanks taking the special forces of the Rio police to come into the complex was something unique in Brazil, was something unique, this collaboration. So this show how proper planning can make things successful. How proper planning. I was watching the newspaper yesterday talking about the operation center. They create a war room with all information. So this was really, really very well planned and very well managed. For sure, there's a long way to go, but these first steps were extremely successful, and I'm adding this in this podcast for the international people. This, for sure, was extremely powerful when we see the images, but this will be extremely beneficial for the country that will be hosting the World Cup and the Olympic Games in 3 to 4 and 5 to 6 years. So I'm very pleased to let you know that, and I'm also very pleased to know that project management could help in some way to do this project. Thank you very much. Peace for everybody, and see you next week.